Hello everyone, this is Grade 1, Module 5, Lesson 12 homework. The directions state, write the time shown on the clock, or draw the missing hands on the clock. So for each of these, we're going to either look whether it has the time on the clock shown, or whether we need to fill it in. And our first one says 10 o'clock. It doesn't say anything about half past or any other minutes, so I know if it's just 10 o'clock, the minute hand is going to be pointing at the 12. And the minute hand is going to be the longer hand. The shorter hand, or the hour hand, will be pointing at the number that it says, so 10. Since it's 10 o'clock, the hour hand will be pointing at the 10, and it's going to be the shorter hand. Let's take a look at 2. 2 says half past 10 o'clock, and I see that the hour hand is in because it's halfway past 10 o'clock. But the half past means the minutes got to be halfway around the clock, and I know that halfway around the clock is pointing at the 6. So it's the longer hand, the minute hand, is going to be pointing at the 6. Let's skip over to 4. And I see 4 gives us the time. And we got to write it off to the side. And there's a couple ways to write it. We can write it using some words, or we can write it using our clock time. So when I look at the hour hand, the shorter hand, the hour hand, it's between 6 and 7. So it's not 6 o'clock, but it's not quite 7. So it's got to be somewhere in between, meaning it's going to be 6 something. And I see the minute hand is pointing at the 6, which means it's halfway around the clock. And that means 30, because 30 is halfway around that clock. It's halfway to getting all the way around. So it's going to be 6:30. The other way that we could make this statement is by saying half past 6 o'clock. And there's our statement right there. Half past 6 o'clock, or 6:30. Let's take a look at 7. 7's going to be a similar one. My minute hand is pointing at the 12, meaning it's going to be something o'clock, or have no minutes. And the hour hand is pointing at the 2, so I know it's 2, and it's right at 2 o'clock. And the other way I could type that is exactly the way I said it. And it would be 2 o'clock. So I could do it either or. Let's take a look at page 2. On page 2, it says match the pictures with the clocks. So it's showing what people are doing at different times, and then we got to find the clock that it matches to. And what we're going to do is we're going to draw some lines. So I'll slide it down and I'll zoom out so we can see all of them. Because we might have to jump around. And the first one says soccer practice at 3:30. So I have to find a clock that's at 3:30. So the first thing I want to do is look for the hour hand. And the hour hand is the shorter one, and I want to see one that's near 3. This one is near 5. That's not good. This one is close to 3. And I see it's 3 and it's halfway around. And I know halfway around means 30. So this one is showing 3:30. So I'm going to connect those. My next one says brush teeth at 7:30. So I'm looking for an hour hand that's around 7 and a minute hand that's half past. This one is close, but we're looking for a 7, not a 6. The next one down, the hour hand is pointing at 4, between 4 and 5, so we're going to skip that. This one, another one, is close. The hour hand is at 6. We're looking for 7. So down below here I see that my hour hand is between 7 and 8, it's halfway past 7, and the minute hand is pointing at the 6, which means 7:30. C says, wash dishes. 6 o'clock. So the hour hand is going to be pointing at the 6, and the minute hand will be pointing at the 12. Because when it's at 12, it means there's zeros for the minutes. So I know that this first one, the minute hand is pointing at the 6, so I'm not going to even look at that because it's not half past, and I know my next one down has the hour hand pointing at the 6 and the minute hand at the 12. So when we look at D says eat dinner at 5:30. So we're looking for a clock that's 5:30. So I'm looking for an hour hand that's right around 5 and a minute hand, the longer hand, pointing at the 6. And if I start down right here in the middle, I see that this one is pointing at between 4 and 5, and this one's down at the 6. That's close. My next one says 6:30, and we're looking for 5:30. My one at the top here has an hour hand between 5 and 6, so I know it's still 5 something, and the minute hand is at the 6, which means halfway around or 30. So I'm going to connect that. Take bus home at 4:30. So I'm looking for 4:30, and I see on my digital clock this one says 6:30. There's only one other one left. And I know that's the case because the hour hand is pointing at between the 4 and the 5, and the minute hand is pointing at the 6 or halfway around. And then my last one says 6:30. And I know halfway is 30, and it's just past 6, so it's going to be 6:30. Hope this helps. Thanks for watching, and good luck on your homework.